The tunnel in New York, dug by boys from Chabad, from Lubavitch, is simply absurd. This is a tunnel dug under the Lubavitcher Rebbe's Brooklyn House 770 Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn, and I had a look at the nature of the tunnels. It's extraordinary. They go through various underground cellars, and then suddenly you're plummeting into a sort of wooden horse territory, into the territory of the of the Stalag movies, and it's simply absurd. Um, I don't quite understand what they were playing at, uh, and I'm sure there's going to be a great deal of absurd speculation that will go on about the nature of the nature of the tunnels, the purpose of the tunnels. Um, Lubavitch, or Chabad, is one of the many Hasidic groups that grew up around the various towns in Poland and Belarus and Russia. This one, I think, was from Russia. Its headquarters now, because of Menachem Mendel Schneerson, remain in New York. And there are videos of these boys climbing out of the drains. It's it's simply it's simply shocking. Young agitators, obsessed, and digging a tunnel. Why were they digging a tunnel? Um, so the whole point about Lubavitch is that out of the Haredi community, Lubavitch or Chabad is probably the most approachable. It's probably the community which will reach out. You will see Lubavitchers in vans, mitzvah tanks, stopping people who they think are Jewish and say, "Would you like to perform a mitzvah?" Um, and it's probably one of the most recognizable of the various groups. Uh, there are Chabad houses all over the world. I remember one particularly in Oxford, and they don't. They're not afraid of modern technology. They're not afraid of engaging with other groups and communication. And I can well remember. I taught in one of their schools. I can well remember um, uh, nigunim being adapted to science concepts, and so relatively popular songs being adapted to um, Chabad chants. So there's a certain amount of engagement with the modern world, which is rather lovely. And I think Chabad is in or almost every single country, um, and certainly spread across the UK, the US, and Europe. It was established in 1775 by Rabbi Schneur Zalman, sometimes called the Alter Rebbe, and he was considered extraordinary. He was writing commentary on the Torah by the age of 8, earning the title rabbi by the age of 12. Um, and he wrote some of the earliest work of Hasidic philosophy, touching on mysticism, on philosophy, on psychology, on ethics, on law. He was a follower of a fellow called Dov Meir, or Dov Meir, and who was also one of the disciples of the Baal Shem Tov, who founded the Hasidic movement. And these people faced serious prosecution, serious persecution and prosecution, serious persecution from Tsarist Russia, and then later from communist Russia. and and following the trial of the pogroms and then the Holocaust under Josef Yitzhak Schneerson and then Menachem Mendel Schneerson, the group became more global and more outreaching, and it's since Menachem Mendel Schneerson's death, in many ways, maybe the group has lost its focus. I think its focus was quite clearly defined in the sort of at its high point in the 1990s, which is that it was there to encourage sort of worldwide tshuva, a worldwide return to the truths in Judaism. So and to share that with the wider global community. And so I think the scandal of the scandal of the tunnel underneath the Chabad house is shocking, is shocking, and needs to be explained in some way. And at the moment, I have absolutely no explanation, but I hope that gives you some sort of background. I've certainly always welcomed and enjoyed my company with Chabad, and actually with the various Hasidic communities anyway. But Chabad is the most approachable, and the most and in so many ways, the most adapted to discussion in the modern world.